for tuning in today.
Hey.
We're just like this the whole time.
ASMR.
Today I have Miss Allie.
Hi.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually really excited for this episode because Allie and I have a lot to say and share.
Yeah, we've been yapping. We've been waiting to plug the mic in.
We've been yapping. Yeah, Allie actually came early. And I was hoping that we had like so much time to yap, but we couldn't like get some things sorted out. We couldn't plug some things in, and like one of the mics wasn't working for a bit, so we had to wait for Amari to come. But now we're all good. Now we're all settled in. Yeah, how was your weekend?
It was good. My weekend, I basically canceled all my plans because since I just moved to my new apartment last Tuesday, I honestly needed to just like rot and like settle in.
Yeah.
Like I feel like no one talks about how moving in the middle of the work week is like so stressful. Like I took Tuesday off to move, and then like I had to like go back to work the next day.
I didn't even think about that. That's true. You moved during the weekday.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like during the week I was like struggling. I was just trying to get by, and then like during the weekend I had like kind of a lot of plans. Like I was supposed to go on like a snowboarding trip for my friend's birthday, and girl, I cannot snowboard.
Oh, is it for was it for
I don't think you've met this friend before.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was supposed to go with her and like some other friends like to go on like a day trip to Jersey to snowboard.
Yeah.
And I don't snowboard, so I was like, I'm gonna eat shit. Like but yeah, initially I was like, yeah, I'm down like for my friend's birthday. I'm happy to like go and celebrate. Yeah.
Fuck around, find out.
Yeah, I love to fuck around and find out. But I was like, maybe not this weekend. Like I was so like exhausted, and I think that's why I got like a little bit sick too.
That makes sense.
So yeah, this weekend turned into just rotting. But I did go to
You got your rest.
Yeah. But I did go to Angelica to see a movie with Cammy and Janet. So that was like a nice like chill activity. And that's like the one thing I did.
What did you see?
We saw Universal Language.
Oh, I don't know that movie.
Yeah, it's like it's like very like quirky, kind of like Wes Anderson style, but quirkier.
Would you recommend? Do you think I'd like it?
Yeah, I think so. I think we all liked it. I was just like really exhausted, so I feel like I was kind of falling asleep a little bit because it is like a slow movie.
It happens.
Like you gotta rewatch it.
That was me for Conclave.
Oh,
yeah.
What did you think of
like
that?
the first 15 minutes.
Really?
But it was like slow burn.
Is it not like an intense movie? I haven't seen it.
It's slow burn, so it's intense like towards the end.
Oh.
But like literally for most of the time in the movie, they're literally just voting, if you think about it. Well, you haven't seen it, right?
Yeah.
They're like voting for a new pope, basically. But
right. Yeah.
No, I fell asleep the first 15 minutes. It was crazy. And then there's like this big bomb that happens in the middle of the movie. And that's when I woke up.
Where you're like, that's my sign.
Yeah. But, okay, yeah, so you saw Angelica, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, you went to Angelica.
Yeah, I saw Angelica.
Who the fuck?
Yes, I went to Angelica. It was nice because for your birthday month, if you're a member there, and you can be a member for free, if you're a member during your birthday month, you get free popcorn for you and a guest. So, like,
all month?
The three of us had these two giant, like, tubs of popcorn that we, like, could not finish.
All month, though? Like,
yeah,
every
all
time
month.
you visit?
Oh, I think it's just once.
Oh,
but
okay.
You get it during your birthday month. And I've never taken advantage of that because I have never gone during my birthday month until this year. So
that's still such a cute incentive.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I mean, it's like an excessive amount of popcorn, but it's like nice, you know? I'm like...
It's funny.
Yeah, I guess because my birthday was like 3 weeks ago. So I'm like, okay, it's nice that you're still reminding me.
That's true. Wait, so you got a new place?
Yes,
I live
in a new apartment. Yeah, I mean, it's just such a big upgrade from my last apartment. And I feel like I can't believe that I'm living there. I guess obviously because it's been under a week, but I feel like I still haven't like processed that this is like the space that I'm going to be existing in for like the foreseeable future.
It's like permanent. It's like a big chapter in your life, actually.
Thanks. Yeah. And I feel like even when I moved into my last apartment, I didn't really process that like living alone in New York is such a milestone for people to experience. So yeah, I feel very
on top
grateful.
Of like a permanent residence too. That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah.
I think you're my first friend in New York that actually has like a permanent place. Honestly, congratulations.
Thank
That's so
you.
crazy.
I mean, I'm excited to have you over.
Woo! I told Allie to. Okay, so there's like this mirror that she had in her old apartment, that I helped her put up. So I was like, you better not put that mirror up without me. Like.
Yeah, that's our thing. That's like our mirror. But also, like, at my last apartment, you were the first friend I had over. So like when we put up that mirror, that was like the first thing I hung up on my wall.
So crazy.
Yeah, it was a very special day.
That was a really beautiful time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like watched you work also. I remember that.
I remember I was trying to like build this like cabinet for all my records. And
yes, I
took,
remember.
Yeah, you took this like one
of you.
B-reel of me like really hammering it in, like putting my back into it.
What are you doing this week? Do you have anything crazy going on
this week?
Is it more like settling in or like what's going on?
Well, tomorrow is Tuesday, which means it's Tom Cruise Tuesday. But yeah, basically Tom Cruise Tuesday is this like weekly hangout I have with 3 of my girlfriends, Cami, Hannah, and Janet.
Shout out
Our friends. But basically we hang out every Tuesday, which I actually love because I feel like it's so special to have like a regimen to your like friend hangouts.
Yes.
Because I feel like it really changes the nature of like consistency in friendships and just being able to like establish community, especially in New York.
It's also like despite whatever is going on the week, like how hectic or how slow it is, it's always so nice to like look forward to something that's like so like ritualistic.
Yeah. I love that it's like a given that we're going to be hanging out this week, and sometimes we like move the days and stuff, but
it's like a given in the week. It's
I'm
still gonna see
and I love that we like always like make time for it even when we have like other things going on. And we switch it up. We don't always watch Tom Cruise movies, but that's like what the group chat is called. We're Tom Cruise Tuesday.
When did it start? When did Tom Cruise Tuesday start?
I feel like
how
it
many
actually
damn Tom Cruise movies are there?
Okay, there's a lot of Tom Cruise movies out there. But basically, I think the weekly hangout started kind of around this time last year. We got really consistent with it in 2024. But it was just like a weekly hangout for the 4 of us at first. And then one day I told them that I wanted to like work through the entire Tom Cruise like filmography. And on Letterboxd, I like created my own tag, Tom Cruise Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it actually. Yeah.
I mean, I don't take it seriously. I have like 20 followers on Letterboxd. But I told them that because basically in 2023, when the most recent Mission Impossible came out, I was so fucking depressed at that time that like I developed like a random fixation on that movie.
I think I remember you watching that movie like so many times.
Yeah, I went to the theater like 5 times to watch the most recent Mission Impossible. Iconic. I love that man. Like he's so insane. And there's something about it that I love.
That was also his own stunt too, right?
Yeah, that's okay. I can't get into it, but like I love that man. Like he's so insane, but like I have to respect his craft.
Yeah. No, speak your truth.
Me preaching my love for Tom Cruise. But no, seriously, that like became our thing. Like I told them that I was doing this, and they were like, we're gonna do it too. So then like that became our like group chat name.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes we do watch Tom Cruise movies. I think we've only watched like 10 though, maybe, or like under that.
Okay.
And like in the beginning we would start off with like his old films that are like really bad.
What were his really bad movies?
There's one called Cocktail, I think, that's really bad. He was like cute in it, like he was young, like handsome, but
he was cute when he was young.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was insane back then. I feel like too. Just like really intense in his movies. But yeah, one day we did watch the Mission Impossible one that I was obsessed with. And everyone liked it.
Oh, good.
Everyone loved it. Everyone rated it 4 stars on Letterboxd, which I feel like is a solid rating.
Yeah, I think
I think you watched it before too.
Yeah.
But you thought it was okay, which is normal. That's like a normal person thing to think.
It's just that I'm not into Mission Impossible that much. But I like it's fun to watch. Like I'll sit down.
That's okay. No, I respect that. Yeah. Honestly, it's because I feel like I was so depressed that like that summer when I watched that Mission Impossible movie, I was like, wow, what a rush.
Wait, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's how I developed the Tom Cruise fixation. And then they all got me a signed Tom Cruise poster for my birthday last year.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It has like a certificate of authenticity and everything. They got it on eBay.
Wait, that's so silly. That's so cute, though.
Yeah. I feel like Tom Cruise Tuesday is like a fun, like, icebreaker thing to share. If I'm like comfortable, you know? Like,
yeah. Where's his poster now? Where is he living now?
I haven't hung it up yet because it's in like a box or something in my apartment right now. But before I had it sitting on top of the mirror that we hung up together. So actually it's like a symbol of friendship. And then on Thursday, I got tickets like a long time ago and I like freaking forgot about it. Yeah. But I'm going to see Lord of the Rings live in concert at Radio City Music Hall. Woo! Yeah. But yeah, I got tickets. So random. Dude, yeah, and I'm going by myself.
I love that kind of shit though.
Thank you. Yeah.
That'll be fun. Like kind of treating your I wouldn't say like your younger self out, but in a way it is, I guess.
Yeah,
I
mean I don't mind doing stuff like that by myself. I feel like it's like funny and like more immersive. But yeah, I got tickets back in like summer last year, I think. So I like completely forgot that it was happening this coming week.
And then you got that email notif.
Not even. I literally was just like, wait, I think it's like around this time.
You remembered it. Yeah. You remembered it. You were keeping tabs.
Yeah. Like, I was like, I need to lock in on Lord of the Rings later this week because it's the last one. It's Return of the King. So like that movie's like 3.5 hours long or something like that. Like it's so long.
Wait, the movie's gonna be playing in the background?
Yeah. So basically they play the movie in the back and they have like a live orchestra playing the score. Yeah. I'm like obsessed with that shit.
I would. Wait, I feel like you also have the potential to get really emotional. Like if you're a die-hard Lord of the Rings fan.
I mean, I don't want to admit to that after just like speaking about my Tom Cruise fixation. But like, yeah, I kind of am a die-hard. Like I think I put Return of the King on my top 4 on Letterboxd. So like,
wait, what
kind
the
of
hell?
Embarrassing, but also that movie fucking rules. So I don't feel bad about it.
I need to watch it. I wasn't able, like, I think I only saw like one Lord of the Rings movie when I was a kid. I know, yeah. And I probably watched like the others, but like as a kid, like you're just like watching things on the screen. At least like for me, like I wasn't really like digesting anything that was going on. But I did love Legolas.
Oh yeah, he's sexy.
He's so sexy. Fine.
Yeah, OG Orlando Bloom. You know what he was doing.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah,
so
me and Tiff had a fixation on Legolas. I mean, I feel like she still does, and I technically still do too. But one day she DM'd me a link to like a T-shirt with his face on it, and we're like, "Do we get it?"
New birthday gift for Tiff. It's coming
Good
soon.
idea. It's coming soon. Our Pisces queen. I think she's honestly the one that probably linked me the concert. And I was like, do we go? And I'm pretty sure she didn't get tickets. And I'm going by myself. Tiff? Yeah, I'm excited. I think that'll be fun. I'm going to take a giant edible. I do love going to the movies alone.
That's so comforting.
Yeah, I love my AMC membership.
Wait, I didn't know you have one. Abdallah also has one.
Yeah, it's so... I feel like since we both work in Midtown... ew. It's just like I got it because at the time when in my old neighborhood there weren't any like cinemas near me, so whenever I went to the theater it would normally be like after work, and the AMCs are near work. And also last year specifically I like really got into like edible and IMAX combinations specifically because before that I really, not to sound like fucking pretentious, but like I was only going to like independent theaters for the most part, and I would go to Regal sometimes because there was one in my old neighborhood, but I used to go to like Metrograph way more often because Hannah had gifted me a membership for my birthday one year.
Yes.
So I went there a lot, but now I only go to AMC.
I'm like not very big with parks, but I went
You're not
yesterday.
really big on parks?
No. I'm like more of a, I don't know. I just like don't know how to touch grass. But yesterday I learned.
Girl.
And honestly,
there's like no grass right now too. It's winter.
But the weather yesterday was so nice. Did you think so?
Yeah, yesterday was nice. Today is nice too.
Yeah, like, so if you're not in New York, like, it's been really fucking cold lately. And the weather today and yesterday was like mid 40s.
Yeah,
And
which
so I
is
was like,
summer to us.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go to the park. Like, I put makeup on and everything. I was like so excited just to go to the fucking park. Made the trek all the way to Central Park with Amari and Patty Mount. And I was like, this
you brought
is
Patty.
so
That's
nice.
so cute.
Yeah. We put her in a little backpack. But it was just so nice. I was like, the weather's just getting so much better. Like, I'm so excited to go and do things.
No, yeah. Once daylight
outside.
savings hits, it's over.
It's over. Like, I feel like I was going through seasonal depression and I didn't realize that I was until yesterday, which is so crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was telling like a bunch of friends, like, I feel like this winter was so brutal for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I get seasonal depression like every year, but like this year in particular, I feel like I felt it like the first week of December.
No.
Like, this year was bad, so I don't blame you for also like noticing it this year. But yeah, it was just so cold this year and so like the way that I just like my brain just stopped working mid sentence.
Dude, that's literally me because of my damn antibiotics. Like, I don't know why I'm speaking in spaces right now. Like,
yeah, I just like stopped mid sentence and I'm like, wait, I didn't have a thought to finish that.
It's so bad, but no, yeah, I didn't even realize that I was fucking going through seasonal depression. Like, and I guess I did realize until yesterday when I went out. And just like, I guess the starting of the day, like I woke up Sunday morning and I was like, I feel so good. I feel so happy. I woke up like at 7 a.m., which is crazy. I don't usually wake up like around that time, but like the sun was glistening from my window and I was like, oh, it's so nice. And it felt hot in my room.
Oh.
And I loved that. Like, I felt so good and I was like, okay.
Cozy, yeah.
Yeah. And like, I hadn't realized how negative I was being towards myself mentally, like probably since December. But like I finally realized it yesterday and I was like, I love it. And then like it continued on today. Like this morning I woke up and I was like, I love myself.
Oh my gosh,
I love everything.
I love that. Yeah.
I just feel like, damn, like we need to get out of this fucking 40-degree weather.
Yeah.
40,
I mean,
30.
40 degrees is like warm to us like right now, but yeah. Summer.
Or spring first, right? I guess.
I'm excited for spring too, though. I feel like it's gonna be so nice this year after such a brutal winter.
I honestly think spring is better, yeah. Just because like the summer gets so hot.
Yeah.
It'll get like 90s and then we'll be wanting like wind again.
Yeah, I feel like summer is nice like until the end of June and then by July you're like, okay, it's a little much now.
Yeah.
And then like by August you're like, okay, please fall.
Snacks.
Oh, snacks.
Ali brought some snacks.
I need to show everyone my purse.
I fucking love it. She walked in today and I was like, it was like the first thing I noticed. It's so beautiful.
But
it's
yes, snack haul.
Snack haul.
I brought snacks from my office. Thank you, office.
Woo, thanks, office.
I brought these Thai rice chips.
Yum.
Sriracha spice flavor.
I've never tried these.
They're good and they're healthy.
Yeah.
And then I brought these Annie's summer strawberry bunny gummies.
Oh my god, I fucking love gummies. Thank you so much, Ali.
Bunny gummies.
So
and then
good.
I brought Tiny Tate's chocolate chip cookies.
Those are so good.
And that's our combo for today.
You came packing.
And then Bev's, I brought
Bev's too.
Mochi sparkling yuzu white peach flavor. Yeah. You can just twist these off too.
Thank you so much. I've never tried these before.
They're good.
Like
you have to like swish it around a little because it's kind of pulpy.
Oops. Alice had to swirl it and I was like shaking it. Okay, perfect. Yay. Hell yeah. Cheers.
Yummy.
Oh my god, it's so good. Wait.
It's like fizzy but not super sweet, which I like.
I love it so much. Are these new?
I don't know. Thank you, office. I mean, they've had these at my office for a while, so I don't think they're like fully new, but I think Mochi is a relatively new brand maybe. I've had it like at some restaurants, but I've never like purchased it myself at a grocery store.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting like 7-Up vibes, like fruity 7-Up. It's so yum. I love that.
Yay, I'm so glad you like it.
Yay. Can I open a gummy?
Yes. Open the gummies.
I think I've been talking so spacey because I'm on antibiotics right now. That's like one thing. So yesterday ended up so well. It was like so great. Went to Central Park, went to Parm after.
Wait, was that your first time at Parm?
It was my first time.
Dude, that cucumber dish looked fucking foul.
No, it was so fucking disgusting. I thought
what
that
even was that? I wanted to ask you, but I was scared to find out. But what was it on the menu? Like, what enticed you to order it?
Because I thought that it was fried. Okay, so on the menu it said cucumbers with buffalo sauce and blue cheese. And I was like, ooh, like maybe it's like a fried pickle type of vibe that's like doused in buffalo sauce and like sprinkled with blue cheese. No, when they gave it to us, it was like cold cucumbers.
You need to like insert a photo. It was heinous.
It was terrible. And then they literally, like, you could tell that they just like not even drizzled, but like poured buffalo sauce everywhere because it was like drenched in buffalo.
No, it was a terrifying image.
and then like the blue cheese was just all over the place. But like, yeah, we definitely were not happy with that at all. We were like,
but the rest was okay.
What is this? Yeah, the rest was so good. I got eggplant parm. Amari got chicken parm. And it was so yum.
Yum, I love Parm.
Yeah, I love it so much. I had never been there before, but Amari went with his mom and he was like talking so much about it. He's like, I have to take you here. I have to take you here. So yeah, it ended up working out well. We went to Parm, then we got like a chocolate chip cookie after, and then I came home and I found out that I had a UTI.
No.
Yeah, so bad. Like, I was freaking out. It's so crazy how bad it can get so quick. Like, you, like, suddenly you just get the urge to pee, and then once you pee, like, you're glued to that fucking toilet. Like, you're not getting out.
It's when you break the seal the first time. When you break the seal, you're like, oh, this is not a normal pee. This is a UTI pee.
I literally did not get off that toilet for, like, a while, like 3 hours, and even then Amari had to go and get my prescription.
You're joking. You're joking, right? 3 hours?
No, I'm not. It's so bad. Like, I'm in so much pain, and I took the telehealth call on the toilet. I was like, and I tend to get very vulnerable when I get really like desperate or frustrated. So like, I was telling him, I was like, is there any way that like I can get the prescription now? Like the pharmacy's about to close. And then he was like, yeah, like I'll help you out. But like, I was getting kind of like angry with that man. But anyway.
Yo, desperate times, desperate measures. Like, UTIs are no joke.
And men just don't understand.
That's true. I mean, they can technically get UTIs, but I don't know anyone that's gotten one.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, actually, what do they understand?
Yeah, so that's why I've been a little bit spacey, but
yeah,
I'm
I feel
recovering.
like on antibiotics, you don't know what it's doing to your body.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The first time I got a UTI, I was interning in New York. So this is before I formally moved here.
Okay.
And I was working in FIDI. My office was in FIDI. And at the time, I was living in East Village. And I don't know what shit I was on back then, but like I used to enjoy walking to the office, like to and from. And that's like an hour walk. I don't know why. I just didn't want to take the train. And the first time I got a UTI, I remember it was like pouring rain that day. And I was like, nah, I'm still walking. So I literally walk home with my UTI. It was like, when it like storms in New York, especially like in the summer, this is like in the summer, the wind is like blowing in all sorts of directions. Like, imagine like I'm basically like walking through like a hurricane with a UTI. After that, I was like, I'm built different. Like, I can handle anything. But what's even crazier is like I did this to myself. Like, I did not need to walk. I could have just like taken the train like a normal person and probably like eased my pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I was like, I can handle anything.
No, I get you.
The UTI pain, I feel like, is the worst the first time. After that, you know how to handle it.
It's so bad. I feel like with me, even now, I still don't know how to handle it, dude. Like, I can't move. Like, I'm just so uncomfortable because I constantly need to pee. Like, I honestly don't blame you for not taking the train, because the first time I got a UTI in New York, I took the train and I was so uncomfortable the entire time. Like, I needed to move my body. Something about moving my body helped me.
That's true. Maybe it like distracts you from like the feeling down there, because I do feel kind of worse when I have a UTI and I'm just like curled up in bed, like fixating on my crotch.
Yeah. It's so bad. And like also, okay. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about there was like this one other time that I got UTI in New York, and I'm gonna tell you guys because I love you all.
Yeah.
But that was literally the fucking worst ever. It was literally last year, sometime around this time. I think it happened like January. It was like the first time it ever snowed in New York. And I find out I have a UTI. It's like the morning. I'm like, okay, I need to fucking go get antibiotics. And this was when I would go see my doctor in the Upper West Side. And I took an Uber again. Okay, took an Uber. It was the first time it snowed in New York, and it was probably a weekday. So like the traffic in Midtown was fucking crazy. That
I bet, yeah.
commute ended up being like an hour and a half. Girl.
On peak UTI pain?
On peak. I peed in the Uber. I peed in the Uber. It was so bad, and I was crying.
No.
I was crying.
Valid,
like,
though. Valid.
But, like, it's because the pain is terrible, and, like, when you can't hold it anymore, like, you can't fucking hold it. I was literally moaning and groaning in the back of the fucking car, and, like, I don't think, like, that man was just driving. Like, I don't think he seemed to care, and at the same time, I didn't really want to tell him, like, hey, hurry up, or, like, I'm kind of shy when it comes to those things, like telling people to like hurry in the Lyft car.
I guess
don't know.
There's only so much
they
can do in traffic anyways.
Yeah.
And it would just stress everyone out.
Yeah. And like we didn't even reach my destination. He ended up having to stop, and he was like, there's too much traffic, like just get down here. And it was like a block down away. But that was literally terrible.
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
No. Like now it's like funny to like giggle gab about, but like definitely was so fucking bad. Like, and I kind of got away with it because, again, it was the first day that it was snowing in the city. So it could have just looked like I fucking fell in the snow.
That's
and then
true.
like
left a little wet stain in the car.
Yeah. And then when I got into the doctor's office, you know how like, they have to like measure you and take your height or whatever. She asked me to like take off everything completely, like my jacket. So I had to take it off. There's a big ass fucking stain on my ass, like from where I peed. Like a wet stain. Like, you know, like when something gets wet, like there's a part of it that's darker. So just think of like a big circle on my ass.
Okay, so yeah, a girl never forgets her first UTI.
Yeah.
That's like a core experience of
it's
womanhood.
So bad. Like I low-key never wish that even on like my fucking enemies. Like it's so bad. Like damn.
Actually, I do wish it on my enemies. I wish they get UTIs every week.
Yeah, UTIs are crazy as fuck. But now we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty of it.
The nitty-gritty.
The nitty-gritty. I need to know. I need to know a few things.
Interview time.
I want to talk about dating.
To talk about dating in New York, I feel like the general concept is dating in New York is hard, or like it's like the worst city to date, whatever. There's like some stat that came out about that. But I feel like it's really just your perspective. Like I think if you're going into New York dating with the mentality of like, I'm here to have fun, I'm here to meet interesting people, dating in New York fucking rules. Like there's no better city for it. And I think when you're young and you're not like bogged down by like a timeline of, oh, I need to be married or have kids by X age or whatever, then I feel like New York dating is so freeing and so fun. But I think like people tend to hit a wall, I guess, eventually when they realize they kind of stopped having fun with the way that most people do when they're casually dating in New York, which is like whatever, hookup culture, roster dating. So I feel like it's really up to the individual to kind of redefine what they're getting out of dating and what they're looking for out of dating. Because I feel like if you think about that and you're sure of those things and you remain secure in it, then I feel like dating in New York can remain awesome no matter how long you're single. But yeah, I definitely think it can be like confusing for people because there are so many options in New York. And I think, actually, obviously, I think men probably feel similarly, but I think the most common thing you hear, I guess because we're girlies, is like the girlies complaining about it.
Yeah. I've heard it a little bit from my girly friends, but like this one friend in particular, he recently moved from Seattle and he's been living here for like maybe like 4 or 5 months or now, but he was like sharing with me when we were catching up about how like it's really difficult to basically, like what he shared with me is that how like at the end of the day, after a date, like he's always going to be thinking how there has to be someone better just because the city's so big.
I mean, I think it goes both ways. I think like especially with app dating, you go into a date with someone expecting to like them, whereas I think if you meet someone in person, you don't have that kind of expectation, so like things can develop and chemistry can come up like a lot more naturally. But because app dating is such a big thing in New York, or at least just in this generation, anywhere in general, I feel like you develop kind of like a cookie cutter ideal of like the type of person you're looking for, and then whoever you go on a date with, you're like, they either fit this or they don't. And I think that makes it easier to like go through people really quickly, because you're like, this is either what I was looking for or it wasn't. Like I feel like people don't really let things play out and give it time for things to like marinate and get better. So I think New York is definitely maybe particularly guilty of that, just because like the nature of everything is so fast, and it's true there are a lot of options.
There's like a lot of people.
But that's why I think it's a great place to have fun.
I mean, I think
sense. Everyone knows that like it's a good place to have fun and not necessarily to like settle down. But I mean, I think it's still possible here for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like if we think about like our friends, for example, like Tiff and Rich.
Like, yeah. I think another thing for dating in New York that I haven't experienced in other cities is everyone has a fucking ginormous ego here, myself included. And I feel like, again, especially with app dating, I feel like you enter it with kind of like an image of this person that you expect. And then you're like, they either meet that or they don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I think, is also projecting your own ego on others.
Yeah.
Because if you think certain things about yourself, I think sometimes you're like looking for that in the other person. That's just my experience. I think, especially when I was younger and I was app dating.
You can't deny that there's like a lot of big personalities in New York, like big personalities, big egos. And with that comes like, oh, I'm going to look for a partner, and like, I want this partner to kind of fit my vibe. And like,
I think in New York, everyone cares about a freaking vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you first move to New York and you're like starting to date, I feel like everything you think about is like the vibe, because there's so many different types of people you can meet. And obviously like on TikTok or whatever, on social media, when you see people like making jokes about dating in New York or like being single in New York, like people get stereotyped and categorized into like different tropes. Like you could even argue that like different neighborhoods represent different types of people.
Yeah.
Like dating like a Tribeca guy versus like a Bushwick man is like very different. But yeah, I think it's easy to kind of like play into that and expect certain things of people because of like the vibe they give, or like I think especially like once you've dated a lot of people, you do kind of compartmentalize people into like, oh, I've dated this kind of person before already.
Oh, I get
And I think that makes you more narrow-minded in a certain way over time. And I think I'm speaking from like app dating, like you project expectations onto different people because you like dated someone that like fit in a similar category, or like for example like lived in the same neighborhood, so like they represent this kind of vibe. But yeah, what I'm saying is I feel like that's kind of what's ruined a lot of dating in New York. I think people get caught up in stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's harder to like sustain a genuine connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, definitely possible. Like our friends have met their partners in New York, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Do you feel like with that mentality it's kind of transactional almost?
I think some people could view like situationships or flings or whatever as transactional, but I feel like when I look back on any like in between dynamic I've had with someone, I feel like I just think of it as like I was young and I enjoyed myself. Like if I had fun, then I don't think things not becoming super like fleshed out or like a full-fledged relationship means that it was a transactional dynamic. I think you can still establish like meaningful connection with someone, and you can still look back on your time with that person as this was like a good representation of my life during this period. And I just spent my life with this person, not like in a relationship way, but like, you know, I hung out with this person
like a good amount of time.
I hung out with this person during this time, and I think reducing it to something transactional is what like takes away the general concept of like you connect with this person fundamentally, at least in some form. Even if you're just hooking up, that's a connection too. or I think also like the choice to like make it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an active choice. Like, yes, you're getting something out of it, which might come off as transactional, but I feel like there's still mutual choice made there, and you're both choosing to spend your time with that person. And I think that's special.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when I look back on like my early 20s and I was dating a lot of different people. I feel like I maybe felt the way that you mentioned now, where things kind of feel transactional sometimes. But I look back now and I'm like, I had fun, whatever. And I think as long as, you know, you do your best to not hurt each other's feelings and remain respectful, I think things don't have to be viewed as transactional just because they're casual, especially in New York.
Also, in some way, it's like you kind of like, I wouldn't say like, not the word, I can't think of the word, but like not necessarily steal, but like you get parts of their interests also.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like it helps you grow also.
Totally.
As a person.
Yeah. Like I think I've learned so many things from like different people I've dated or just people I've met in New York in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's cool about dating in New York. Like, yeah, of course, dating a bunch of people can get really exhausting, but I think it's really awesome to be able to meet this range of people. Like, I think if people get tired of dating in New York, I guess I would encourage to try to like think of it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think when you're in a relationship, obviously you learn so much from your partner in a different way, but I just try to think of being single as a period of your life that you just like learn about people in a different form than when you're in a relationship.
And you're kind of also learning about yourself a little bit, right? Because like you're thinking like, oh, well, I like this about this person and I like that and I don't like that. And like, oh, I'm actually never going to do that again.
Totally, yeah. I've always viewed like dating in whatever capacity as like, this man is like a vessel for me to learn about myself.
Yeah.
I think my friend probably told me that and I'm just like re-quoting her, but like I think that's also like how I view my previous dynamics when I was like in my early 20s and like they didn't amount to like a formal relationship or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had fun and I learned about myself, and like that was a good capsule of like whatever time was spent during like my early 20s, mid 20s.
When you put it that way, that's kind of really beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like I just gave like a super analytical view of like how I view being single and dating in New York, but I mean, I think, yeah, when you have dated a good amount of people, it does get fundamentally kind of exhausting. And so I feel like maybe that's like my coping mechanism, but I also just genuinely view like my dating lore, I guess, that way. I honestly just, literally view it as like I had fun and it got me to where I am now, which I feel like is a good place. And it's just like someone you shared your life with at the time. I think you could say the same about any like dynamic in your life, whether it's romantic or not, you know? Like friendships too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course. It's kind of similar. I guess like the only way that I could find some similarity in this now in my current long-term relationship is how like, for example, and I think I've like told you this once before, how like whoever you're with in some way does project who you are also as a person. Like, small example, if my partner is like going somewhere and I'm like, oh hey, like you have to shower. You know what I mean?
Okay, I
or
see
like,
what you're saying. Like they're a representation of you when you're outside with them.
Yes. Even when I'm not with them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I think that way.
I think, like, especially as you get older, your partner becomes, like, an added aspect of how your identity is, reflected externally. So something as, like, small as that example, I feel like that's probably the way people break down, like, choosing to date someone. Like, you're definitely, like, thinking about your identity when you're choosing to date someone.
Yeah.
No,
that was literally, that's literally what I was.
The direction you want to go in?
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to talk about. And I could see that so much now because I feel like obviously when you're with someone for so long, you obviously grow with them. And in so many ways, I can see, like, ever since I started living with my boyfriend, I can see how he's changed in terms of like fashion And like,
ooh, yeah. I was just talking about that with other girlfriends the other day, like how everyone like made their man glow up.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the girlfriend effect.
Yeah. Have you heard of the boyfriend effect? Girl, I thought I was going through the boyfriend effect like 2 years ago.
Explain, elaborate.
It's like literally when you just like, you're just like not putting so much care into yourself that you like how you used to before.
Oh, like
Like,
you're comfortable.
You're basically comfortable, but like you're exuding that everywhere you go.
Like you're a little slappy.
Just a little slappy, a little smelly.
Oh, that's
little,
so
like
funny. That's so funny.
I think I was like, I definitely had like the boyfriend effect or boyfriend. I was like sniffing boyfriend air or something for like the first year that I moved.
Taking deep inhales of it. Yeah.
But I got back up.
She's back up.
But also like maybe it was also what I was like going through back then, like with my career and stuff and all that. Do you like meeting people more organically or online?
Oh yeah, I would say yeah. I definitely like to meet people more organically. Ideally, I think people get like depressed thinking about like how like hard that is these days, and I think that's why like app culture is the way it is. Like people are dependent on it, and then they feel like dissatisfied with it, and it's kind of this like cycle of just having like expectations be let down. I definitely think meeting people in person is definitely still very doable and very possible, and it's often in like really random scenarios. I feel like if you're confident in like how you carry yourself and you're just interested in people, like I don't think it's hard for people to pull.
No one has Riz these days.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, but I think Riz is literally just like you believe you have it or you don't, you know, like Riz is so subjective. Yeah, I used to date pretty much primarily from apps, but like once I started meeting people in person, I felt like the quality of people I was meeting in person were way better than the people that I was meeting on apps. I think also like I had phased out of apps kind of naturally, just like in my usage of it. I felt like my evaluation of like people became like way too like specific in a way that just simply doesn't work. Like I think if you're going to use dating apps, you have to like be very open-minded. And once I had dated like a good amount of people in New York, I think apps just like didn't really work for me anymore. And I also just didn't really care to use them anymore. Like I feel like I was just like chilling. Like I didn't want to be like swiping like that. And then like kind of naturally I feel like that's when I would like meet people in person, and like they were more attractive. I feel like your chemistry is just a lot more natural. Like I think when you're dating on apps, like I mentioned previously, when you go on a date, you're trying to have it be like a romantic dynamic. Like you go into the date like thinking like, oh, is this someone that I'm interested in? Whereas like when you meet someone in person, you're just like, dang, I kind of fuck with that, you know? Or like,
and I'm not gonna tell you I fuck with that. Like I'll tell you later. But
yeah, I mean like, yeah, I just think that's like the nature of meeting people in person. That feels far more different than like meeting on an app, because that's what I think feels draining about that's what feels draining about app dating. Like you go on these like dates like this,
you're kind of like rushing everything, kind of
a little bit. Yeah, you're just kind of like, will this work, will this work, will this work, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why people get exhausted. But yeah, if you meet people in person, you're not like expecting anything out of this person.
Do you mean like meeting someone in person and being like, oh, I'm talking to you to date you, or like, oh, I'm talking to you just be your friend, and then whatever happens along the line happens?
Yeah, the latter for sure. Like I feel like if I've met people in person, obviously you find each other attractive if you're trying to like pursue anything.
Yeah.
But attraction can mean like physical, but also just like the energy they give. You're like obviously like drawn to someone if you're meeting like physically, in physical form. And yeah, I think like it just feels a lot more natural to assess whether you actually have chemistry with someone when you don't have these romantic expectations that you're trying to project on the other person. Yeah. Like I think it allows the space for you to just get to know the person in whatever capacity that you choose to in that moment. Yeah. And sometimes it can be something as simple as like you want to smash later. Yeah. Or it can lead to something else too, or you just be friends too. Like I feel like it could be all sorts of things. But with app dating, you're trying to date each other. Like you can become friends with people from apps. Like I've definitely had those experiences before, but you're going into it trying to date each other as a fundamental, you know?
I honestly had never thought about that at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like dating I mean, not dating, just meeting people in person, I feel like is always more ideal. Especially in a romantic dynamic, I think that's how you best assess like natural chemistry, which I think people like forget about when you're app dating, because you're like evaluating them based off of like things on paper. Do they look like their photos? Yeah.
Also judging like whatever the hell they put on their profile.
That too, yeah. And I feel like that gives you like this false idea of how ideal this person is or how much they fit the mold of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Whereas when you meet someone in person, I feel like there's just so much more space for you to be open-minded and kind of let the dynamic go however it may.
A good friends to lovers trope.
Yes.
Basically.
They are rare, but they're possible these days, I'm sure.
Are.
I feel like dynamics that continue from meeting from an app are also like just as unexpected in a different way. Like sometimes like you'll clock someone from a first date and be like, ugh, don't really know if I'm down like that. But sometimes one like the person will just ask for a second date.
Yeah. And
you might kind of be wary, but you'll just be like, yeah, sure.
What the hell, sure.
Like I've definitely had
No, yeah, I want to know your craziest ick.
Oh, my craziest ick?
Or were you going to talk about something else?
Oh, I don't have a super crazy ick, but like the first thing that comes to mind is once I went on a date with a guy from an app and he kind of had weird photos, like, but I was like, whatever. Okay, no, that's not true. I feel like I thought I saw the potential. Like I thought he would be attractive. Like he kind of had like some weird photos, but I was like, maybe that's a vibe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll fuck around and find out. He chose Clandestino in Times Square as the bar for us to do our first date.
Oh my God.
And if y'all have been there, that's a fucking loud bar.
Yeah.
Like you go there with your friends. Like you don't go there on a first date.
Yeah.
And also it just
you don't go there to meet someone for the first time.
Yeah. Like also, I don't know why I agreed to it. I was just like, word, okay.
You're like saying fuck it to the entire thing.
Yeah. At this time, I definitely had more lax standards for dating. I was just trying to have fun, like whatever. But yeah, he gets there first and he texts me and he's like, oh, I got a spot at the back. So like I'm thinking like, okay, he got a seat, nice. Yeah. I show up and he's just like standing on the side. And that's not that big of a deal. Standing awkwardly in the middle of Clandestino, where like if you know that vibe, it's not somewhere you just stand by yourself. Actually, I don't want to be a hater. I respect the people that go to bars alone. But yeah, he was just like standing on the side. And what really gave me the ick was he was wearing a turtleneck.
I hate turtlenecks, actually.
I'm like, why? Just why?
Yeah. No way.
I want to understand the thought process that went into wearing a turtleneck for a first date.
Was it even cold?
Dude, okay, yeah, I think it was around, it was probably around this time, seasonally, yeah. But, like...
They're just not, like, eye candy. Like,
I think the image of, like, a man standing by himself in a turtleneck at Clandestino was, like, the ick. Yeah, and it's really not that crazy. It's just, like, this is very girl-specific, very vibe-specific. Like, you either get the ick for this kind of thing or you don't. But I feel like you get me.
Yeah, I do.
That's just like the first ick that I thought of. I've told multiple people this because like people ask me this question, like, and that's just kind of my go-to answer.
How was the rest of the date? How did the rest of the date go? Like, was there more icks to follow or like?
Okay, I kind of knew within like 2 seconds that I wasn't gonna actually be interested in this person, but I was like,
okay. The 2 seconds of you seeing him, or like 2 seconds of talking to him,
like both, I guess. I just like knew. Fuck. I was like, I'm good, you know. But like I was already there. I looked fucking good. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I don't normally do this, even if I'm like not. Actually, honestly, I just don't really go on bad dates. Not to toot my own horn, but like I feel like I'll commit and just be like, okay, I'm here to have a good time. Like even if you know you don't see like a future with this person,
let's go eat. Let's have fun.
Like let's play. Let's play. But yeah, for him, I knew immediately that I wasn't interested. Also, I feel like he kind of catfished me. That's what I get for like going on a date with a guy with like weird photos. But yeah, he was like sweet, like he was fine, like it was fine to talk to him. It was fine. That's all I'm gonna give him. But like I can talk to anyone, I feel like. So like I was just yapping, I was asking questions, and like we still had 2 drinks at the bar. He got me 2 drinks. But I was talking about this with another friend the other day. 2 drinks doesn't mean shit. Like people might think oh, more than 1 drink means that it's going well. But that just means you're just talking. Yeah, it just means you're having a conversation and you ran out of a beverage. Yeah, so it doesn't it's like mean time like to sip on another
substantial is happening.
Yeah, I said to my friend though, I think, okay, 1 drink. If you go on a date and you have 1 drink, you don't like each other at all. 1 drink, you fucking hate each other. You're like, when is this over? 2 drinks, but 1 bar, you kind of probably still don't like each other. I think if you're on a date and that's your entire date, you go to 1 bar and you have 2 drinks, nothing else after, nothing else before, you don't like each other. That's like a bare minimum kind of date. Yeah, and it's like, when you're having drinks for a date, you're just talking. So it's like, if you don't feel the need to like carry this conversation, like see where else it goes, like carry the night out, you do not like each other.
Yeah, you guys don't give a fuck about each other.
So yeah. I think 1 bar for like a first date, you don't like each other enough. That's I think that's the actually I don't know, maybe other people feel differently, but I think that's how
that's
I
like
feel.
Your standard.
Yeah, that's kind of my standard if I'm getting like drinks on a first date.
Yeah.
But I think if you go to multiple bars, you like each other.
Wait, yeah, that makes sense because like you're bar hopping, you're trying new drinks together.
Yeah, if you get 1 drink at a first bar, but then there's the second bar, you like each other. Because it's like, why go out of your way to go to another bar if you don't like each other?
That's true.
And when I say like each other, it's the bare minimum of liking. It's like you're interested in this person and you're like, yeah, I'm down to play for the night, you know? It doesn't really mean all that much, but 1 drink at 1 bar, you fucking hate the date. Like...
Was it like that with that turtleneck guy?
I had 2 drinks with him and I still hated the date. So yeah, it's possible to have 2 drinks and still hate the date. But okay, I'm kidding. Like it really wasn't that bad. Like again, like I can enjoy a conversation, I think, for the most part with anyone. But I think just the fact that I clocked very early on that I wasn't like very attracted to him. The ick was like a joke. The turtleneck ick is a joke, but also I'm serious. Yeah, I think it just, I don't know. I think also that phase of my life when I was dating, I was a lot more like, either I'm interested in you or I'm not even interested in this date. Whereas like early stages of dating, I think I could go on literally any date, any man, and be like, yay, fun to get free drinks and free dinner. Like I think once you've dated for a while in New York and you make your own money and you like to hang out with your friends, like
it's like I don't need to do this with a man.
Yeah, I don't need like a free dinner or a free drink. Like I'd rather just pay. Yeah, I'd rather just spend my own money. Yeah. And like actually enjoy the company.
Go bar hopping with people that I actually care about.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, that's a silly story and tangent from the first ick that I thought of. I feel like I don't actually get like, actually that's not true. There's plenty of icks. Men are icky in general.
Ew, yeah.
But I will say I feel like I overlook a lot of icks, which sounds like problematic, but like I think that's what I mean. Like icks are kind of like silly, and I feel like if you feel like you still have a good connection with this person or you think they're just like a good person to be around, you enjoy their company, I feel like icks are just like silly. Like especially girl icks. Not icks for girls, but icks that girls find in men. It's always like stupid things like what I just mentioned, like wearing a turtleneck.
But it's so true. I also think like very physical things give me the ick. I'm trying to think about something in particular where I'm like, what did I get icked by?
There's so many different shirts you can wear. Why turtleneck? Even if it's cold, you can wear layers. You know, there's something a little bit more tasteful. I would rather a man wear a hoodie than a turtleneck. Hoodies are cute.
A hoodie and a guy is cute.
Yeah, especially if they wear that to a first date. I actually think that's like, really cute.
And it's like baggy-ish.
Yeah.
It's like not fit. Like a turtleneck.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's something really wrong to me about like just raw dogging your outfit with a turtleneck. Like nothing else. Turtleneck, no layers, no jewelry, no accessories.
Standing in the back, talking to no one at that bar.
Yeah, like, I think it's also because I like expected him to be like sitting and like, I don't know. That's the vibe you expect, I think, from a date. yeah, I haven't thought about this date in a long time, so I can't believe I'm like really going in on it. But I've had dates where like you stand and you talk and it's not a big deal. Like, it really just depends on who you're with.
Yeah.
I think I just decided I don't like this man at all once he wore a turtleneck.
What about like the sweetest thing a guy has ever done on the first date?
Dude, I really can't think of anything. I don't think I date like bad guys. I just think like what I really enjoy from like a first date is like if you can just kind of be silly. Like I can't really think
like
of
be
anything.
yourself, like
yeah, or like I like to just bro it up. Like I think that's why I don't really like perceive anything that stands out in my mind as like particularly sweet, I guess, from a first date. I feel like a first date is really good if it lasts for like several hours. Like you do multiple things, even though that wasn't like on the initial itinerary. I think like a spontaneous first date is like really awesome. Like you choose one thing maybe to like start the date off, but then like you can do multiple things after. But yeah, for everyone listening, don't take anything I said seriously, especially the turtleneck ick.
Wear your turtlenecks, it's fine.
Yeah,
Just
no
not for
turtleneck
us.
shame. We're not shaming anyone that wears turtlenecks, though I don't own any in my closet, so think about that.
We're shaming completely, actually.
Yeah, actually, we're not joking. We're entirely serious.
This was so fun.
This was so fun. I love yapping.
I'm honestly really sad that we're closing out early.
I know.
Just because like we
Why
got
are
the ball
boys
rolling.
coming here to use our equipment?
I know, it sucks. I'm having band practice in a bit, so we gotta close out, but I'm so happy I had Allie here. I want you to come back. I'm like, we need
a part
say.
2.
We have more to say. We'll have a part 2 soon. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much for the snacks.
Me.
I think my favorite was the gummies.
Ooh, yeah.
Gummies
Snack
first.
Review.
This sriracha, what is it called?
The
Rice
Rice
Crisps. Second, and then third, the cookies. But also, honestly, I think the drink kind of like tops everything.
Yay.
I really love the drink. Yeah.
Yeah, the drink is awesome.
It
But
was
yeah,
so
these are like
good.
really random snacks from the office, so I'm glad you like them.
Thank you, office.
Thank you, office.
But yeah, it was so nice having you, and I hope you have fun in your
Yay.
Lord of the Rings.
I will provide an update on
events.
how that goes.
Yes, let me know. Is there anything else that you want to say to
No.
everyone? Okay.
Love you.
Bye.